Good evening, viewers, and welcome to this edition of NTV Sports Page. It's Tuesday, 24th of August, and I'm Curtis Morton. In our headlines, Nivisions continue to excel in Windies Under-19 camp, and in our feature for this evening, CPL coaches face the media ahead of Thursday's start to the tournament. We'll take this break, and I'll be right back.
I am the Honorable Spencer Brand, Minister with responsibility for communication, public works, water services, physical planning and environment, post and labor. The information from the census is absolutely critical to my ministry to help us to make policies and to formulate programs. For example, our water enhancement program some years ago was a significant beneficiary from the census data that was collected. I want to take this opportunity to encourage all of our residents to participate truthfully with the invigilators in the census process. It is critical that accurate information is given, that truthful information is given, because only from that accurate and truthful data we will have the necessary information to formulate our policies. It's you, me, us. 2021 census, hashtag be counted.
Well, I'm back and we start with cricket. The weather on day 2 and the fast around a damp patch near the pitch on the following day brought out the worst of Test cricket. But on day 4, chasing a game to salvage the series and precious World Test Championship points, Pakistan ensured that we saw the best of the grand old format too. Shaheen Afridi, among the brightest stars in the world cricket, lit up the contest with a career-best 6-wicket haul in the first innings, rolling what was left of the West Indies' first innings over in little more than a session. It allowed Pakistan a lead of 152 and permission to put on their T20 boots as they hurtled to 176 in just 27.3 overs, ensuring that West Indies would bat for 18 overs. They must now prevent Pakistan from taking 9 wickets on Tuesday if they are to cling on to the series. West Indies, mind you, need 280 more runs for a clean sweep, but on the evidence of the events on Monday, it seems a tough ask. But something tells me that we might have another close result today, Tuesday. Summarized scores: Stumps West Indies 150 and 49 for 1, Brathwaite 17 not out, Night Watchman Joseph 8 not out, Trail Pakistan 302 for 9 declared and 176 for 6 declared. Butt 37, Baba 33, Joseph 2 for 24. Holt also picked up 2 wickets, and Pakistan led by 280 runs. But in some really good news, the 4 Nivisions who were selected to the 26-member squad for the Under-19 Windies training camp continue to place themselves squarely on the radar of the selectors as the time approaches for the naming of the final 18-man squad set to tour England shortly. In a practice match played on Sunday, 22nd August, the 4 players performed creditably, with Justin Ahmedan and Onaje Amri leading the way. Summarized scores: Team 1, 270 all out in 42.5 overs, Akeem August 104, Justin Beckford 29, Rivaldo Clark 22, Sian Hackett 20, and Nicholas Lewin 19. Isaiah Thorne 2 for 43, McKenny Clark 2 for 45, Giovanni De Pisa 2 for 50, Jordan Johnson 1 for 30, and Nathan Edwards 1 for 50. Team 2, 227 all out in 45.5 overs. Our own Justin Ahmedan, he got 59 with 9 fours and 1 6. Teddy Bishop 38, Kyle Kisodanath 36, Shaq Paris 21, and our own Carlin Bowen Tuckett, he was 21 not out. Well, Nivision Onaje Amri, our very own, picked up 4 for 47. Anderson Mahez 2 for 11, Andel Gordon 2 for 44, Sian Hackett 1 for 13, and again our very own Jaden Carmichael, he got 1 for 42 from 10 overs. Team 1 won by 43 runs. We'll take this break and I'll be back with our feature for this evening.
There are signs everywhere. Pay attention whether you're male or female. Visit your health center to get screened. It's a preliminary test to determine if you are exposed to the HIV virus, an STI, or tuberculosis. Some people who are HIV positive also have tuberculosis. But there's hope. Tuberculosis can be cured. And yes, you can live a full life with HIV. Talk to your doctor. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB, HIV. Encourage everyone to get tested.
Well, I'm back, and tonight we feature cricket, with the 2021 edition of the Caribbean Premier League set to commence in St. Kitts on Thursday, 26 August. Coaches of the various teams face the press on Monday, 23 August. Thanks to the CPL authorities, tonight we feature excerpts from that press conference.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We're joined by Shimron Hetmyer and Omar Khan of the Guyana Amazon Warriors. Omar, you're the man to speak to about this. So where are we at in terms of player arrivals and in terms of training, etc.? How are we doing?
Well, so far we are very fortunate that we have had all our players arrived up to yesterday. We had 15 players, which is our full squad, a full complement of players that we are going to be utilizing for the CPL 2021 tournament. Unfortunately, Waqar Salam Klein, the young Afghanistan wrist spinner, left arm wrist spinner, was unable to make the trip because of, first of all, visa issues, and then, of course, obviously the situation in Afghanistan. So he's out of the tournament. So we are down to 15 players, and we have decided as a franchise that we will just remain with those 15 players due to the current situation with the pandemic and the challenges with getting players across the travel and all those things. So we think we have a good squad that we could manage throughout the tournament with those 15 players. Yesterday we had Mohamed Hafiz, Sir Malik, and Imran Tahir arriving. So they are now here with us in St. Kitts, and that's in addition to Shimron, Nicholas Puran, and the rest of the Guyanese contingent. They are all here in St. Kitts. So we have 15 of the 16 players we had listed as our full squad here in St. Kitts.
Hetty, do you want to talk about Nicholas as a teammate and a captain and what you think about his appointment?
Well, as a teammate, he's very good to be around, actually. Lends a lot of support and so on. And as a captain, he does the same as well. He's really someone that you could... It's always nice to have someone as a captain that you could go and speak to and just pass information and give some ideas to, you know. And playing with him for over a few years now, well, being with him for a few years now in the same team and around him and so on, he's a really calm guy to go around and so on, and just basically give information to, and then he relays information to you quite well, as we all know, and we could see him. He's very vocal and stuff when he's behind the stump. So I think it's a great initiative for him to actually be cap when he was a captain in PSL, and he was for West Indies, and now here too as well. So it will, as Omar said, it will only help him to be a better cricketer and so on, to show some leadership qualities and so on, you know.
Great. So Simon, if you could let us know where you are as far as arrivals are concerned, where you are as in terms of team preparation is concerned, and maybe just something on the mood of how you guys are in the camp, that would be fantastic.
Thanks, everyone. Great to sort of see you all, not in person, but certainly online. We're starting to get together. I think we've got 10 active participants at training this afternoon. We have another 5 players in quarantine, and we have 2 more still to join us. Joshua Da Silva is obviously playing in the test match, and Ravi Bapara has some commitments in the UK before he arrives. So, we're starting to get together. The groups are starting to get to know each other and gel, as we do in these T20 competitions. Usually the build-up is short, and then it gets right into the competition. Obviously very interesting in COVID times, having to quarantine, various flights, vaccinations, COVID tests, etc. So the players, the staff, everyone here are obviously having to endure a lot, but it's all for a good cause, and that's to play in one of the best T20 competitions in the world, one of the biggest parties in sport, the CPL, one of great competitions across the world. I'm certainly great and blessed to be back, albeit in different colours, not with TKR. My family and friends there who I enjoyed working with from 14 to 16, but now looking forward to coaching the Patriots and looking forward to making sure that we have a positive and successful season.
Thank you very much. So in for the first question, Ian Wasson over in Trinidad says, with the return of Chris Gale and now with Dwayne Bravo and other top names in the Patriots team, what is your expectations for 2021?
Our expectations are to compete, to play finals, and hopefully have a push for the championship. That's what all teams are here for, and certainly that's what we're here for. To have the services of my old buddy and captain from TKR and now coming across to us in Dwayne Bravo, that's terrific. The Universe boss being with us in Chris Gale, that's awesome. But we're really pleased also to pick up recruits such as Sherfane Rutherford and some of our overseas participants also, Ravik Bapara and others, Fawad Ahmed, are going to be really important for us, as well as the existing talent that we had from last season. Evan Lewis is such an important player for the Patriots team. And if he fires at the top, well, that's going to bode very well for a successful Patriots season.
Floyd, if I could ask how things are going from your point of view in terms of player arrivals and in terms of preparations, in terms of you guys getting out and training, etc. That would be fantastic. Just a little rundown of where you guys are.
Hey, morning. We have most of our players here already. We about 3 players arrived yesterday, so it's just 2 more players to arrive. Shamar Bucks, he'll be coming over from the test match in Jamaica, and Kees Ahmad, he's also coming in from England. But other than that, we have, I would say, 96% of our players on the ground.
Rai, you have a question.
Hi, yeah, morning, coach. Morning to everyone on the Zoom meeting. I just wanted to find out, 2 of your standout players from 2020 are no longer part of the setup this year, that being Glenn Phillips. I think he scored 300 plus runs last year, and Mujib, who was among the wickets, I think second best in the tournament last year. Who are you looking to sort of be the X factors for the Jamaica Tallawahs to take you all one step further this year as opposed to last year?
Well, there's always X factors in the team, but what we're focusing on is playing a solid team game, all right? And when you play as a unit, you tend to win more games than often. If you depend on one person with that match-winning performance all the time, you will get a match-winning performance, but we are focusing more on team performances. Obviously, when you have a guy like Andre Russell on your side, aka Superman, he can also win games on his own. But I think that we have a very good team. We have guys, very experienced guys who have played around the circuit. It's just a matter for us of gelling together and getting it right off the field so we can get it right on the field as well. But there are always times that some players will come up with the exceptional performances. We've got players that are capable enough of doing that. But like I said before, we're focusing on that team effort in order to win us cricket games consistently.
Imran, could you just tell us where things are at the moment in terms of arrivals and in terms of, you're on mute at the moment, so you'll have to unmute to tell us. But if you could tell us how things are from an arrivals point of view, and also where you guys are from a training point of view and how the squad's doing as you look to defend your title.
Hi guys, good morning everyone. Quick update. We've had the latest arrivals in Pollard. We had, that was skipper, of course, vice captain in Sunil Narain, Monroe and Ali Khan yesterday. We are only awaiting the arrival of Jaden Seals and Yasir Shah, who's currently engaged in the test match up in Sabina Park in Jamaica. Overall, the preparations have started off fantastic for us. We, as usual, we build a very good vibes within the camp, good energy, and so far we've had a lot of activities. We've had a practice session, so the guys are in good spirits, and we are up for it.
Great. Rai Ricamos, you've got a question. Do you want to go ahead and unmute and ask?
Hi, morning, everyone. I don't know if you hear me clearly.
We can hear you just fine.
All right, wonderful. Imran, first of all, congratulations on your appointment. I was about to type in the question because I'm actually walking and in this meeting, but I'll ask it anyway. There's a change of venue for the tournament, and I was wondering, what are your thoughts, first of all, on the change of venue, how it may affect the teams, specifically TKR, and also how have you all prepared, if anything, differently for this change in venue? Thank you very much.
No problem. Good question. We all know, the venue has two relatively street boundaries are relatively short. That's one. Two, there's a wind factor going across the field. So that's two things that we have to pay attention to. The wickets here are normally really good cricket wickets. And our preparations would have taken those things into consideration. So specifically speaking, we will have bowlers specifically bowling on certain ends. So guys hit into the wind, not letting guys hit too straight. So we'll probably have to pull back the lengths. So those are the conversations we've already had and will continue to have with regards to the venue. We all know it's high scoring mostly here in St. Kitts. So we are conscious of that, you know?
I'm here with Daniel Vettori from the Barbados Royals. If you guys have any questions that you wish to ask, please do so. Let's have a quick look. Rai, do you want to got a question? Do you want to go first?
Hi, yeah, thank you very much. Good afternoon to everyone. Good afternoon, Danny. My question is, as was mentioned earlier, there is a bit of a change this year in terms of the name and the branding of the Barbados franchise now being called the Royals. Last season wasn't particularly a good one in terms of where the team finished in the standings, fifth, I believe. I think just 3 victories last season. Do you believe, or is this being seen as a fresh start for this team, as a fresh brand and maybe perhaps a fresh approach to the cricket being played? And if so, what is the approach that we can expect to see, without giving, of course, away too much information?
Yeah, I think so. There's obviously a lot's happened in the last couple of months. I mean, I only came on board with the team probably in that time as well. And then obviously the change of ownership or new ownership coming in with the Royals. And obviously they have a brand with Rajasthan, and they have a long history with T20 cricket. And I think we'll see that the way that they've gone about things in IPL will definitely influence some of the things that we do, because of the sort of senior management being very similar between the two franchises. So I think it's sort of a wait and see thing from my perspective, because I haven't actually been able to meet the guys yet. I've just come in from the 100 competition and I've got a couple of days in quarantine here. So I probably can't give too much away because I don't know too much, but I know from my experiences as a coach and how I like to go about things that we obviously need to be aggressive in this format, but we also have to understand that the conditions are going to dictate a lot of what we're going to do. And as the tournament goes on, I think those conditions will change, and I think the team that has the ability to adapt with the condition will have the best chance of winning games.
I just have one more question, if I'll be permitted.
Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good for me.
Yeah, thanks. So Danny, as you mentioned, joining along with this team quite recently, but you do have a decorated career behind you and a lot of experience coming in from that. What are some of the things you as coach can bring to the table that could perhaps help Barbados Royals perform much better this time around?
Well, I've probably touched on it just a little bit just then, around the ability to adapt and the ability to understand conditions and see what's right at a point in time. And I don't always like it when teams, I suppose, have a brand or a style of player, like teams that actually can read conditions and understand what they need to do at certain times. So hopefully that's what I can bring to the table. Getting to know Jason over the last little while and understanding how he wants to work. And hopefully from me, I've always enjoyed working with spinners, and that's my, I suppose, my forte and how I've helped players in the past. So looking forward to working with Hayden Walsh. We've got Ashley Nurse here, obviously who's an experienced T20 bowler. Glenn Phillips has bowled in the past, and trying to develop those guys. So I think that's what you can see from, I suppose, my teams in the past, that they do rely heavily on spinners, and hopefully we can bring the best out of them.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Ian, you had a question?
Yes, good afternoon. And with the addition of Oshane Thomas in the Barbados team, you know, when he first came in and he was with Tallawahs, he had a bright career, but he didn't have a best couple of seasons in the CPL. How is he looking now, and how big of a role does Oshane Thomas have with Barbados?
Well, I think that's been one of the pleasing things since I only arrived yesterday, but the conversations amongst our assistant coaches has been that Oshane Thomas looks fantastic, and he's a big part of our team. We obviously need his bowling, and I think once again in these conditions with his pace and his height, I think once the wickets start to deteriorate and change a little bit, I think he's the sort of bowler who could be more and more effective. So we are obviously hoping to see him at his best, and so far so good in terms of that positive news around that.
So Andy Flower from the St. Lucia Kings, if you could let us know maybe where you guys are in terms of player arrivals, etc. I know you only just got in yourself last night, but maybe where you guys are at as a team, and where preparations are going from here for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, so obviously it's going to be a very short lead. Excuse me. That's a bit of COVID still coming out of me. It's going to be a very short lead into our first game. We've got limited training sessions and no practice games, but I'm pretty sure that we will be ready for that first match. We got in last night, the contingent from the 100 that were busy with the 100, including Darren Sammy, who was commentating over there, and a number of our key players. We've still got the contingent that is busy with the second test against Pakistan. So we've still got a few key men coming across from the test match, I think later tonight. And Samad Patel is playing in the quarterfinal of the Vitality Blast in England. So he's going to miss the first few games. So it's slightly disjointed, I think, for all teams in the build-up to the first game. But I'm sure everyone is quite well-versed in getting ready in a short period of time. And we'll be ensuring that we do that. We are all really excited to be here. Last year was given all the challenges that the COVID restrictions put on the tournament. I thought it was a brilliant tournament. We all loved it, and we will be raring to go for that first match.
Thanks for that, Andy. Rai, you've got a question. Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, morning Andy, morning everyone.
Hi.
My question is, there are a few changes for St. Lucia this year. First of all, the name, the logo, a few personnel changes as well. My question is, how have you all been coping with all of these changes? And secondly, I'd like to find out, you all got very, very close last season. What do you think needs to be done additionally to what you all did well last season to get you all over the line this year?
Thanks, Rai. Yes, there have been a number of changes, but that is the franchise system for you. The biggest change, I think, for us is that Darren Sammy won't be on the field captaining, but he will still be a crucial play a crucial role in our team. He's an outstanding leader. His history gives excellent evidence of that. And I think he's going to be a really crucial influence on our team in all sorts of ways. So I'm really looking forward to working closely with him. In saying that, we've got an excellent captain to take his place, Faf du Plessis, very experienced. He's a great guy. I've worked a little with him before. Actually, when we took a World 11 to Pakistan to play 3 2020 matches in an effort to get international cricket back to Pakistan. And I really loved my interactions with him. I'm looking forward to working with him as a leader. And he's had his own personal fitness challenges, obviously just recently with his concussion issues, but he is on a back to play program that should see him ready for our first match. And, we hope and pray that he is going to be fit, obviously for his own good, but also for ours. There's no 100% guarantee about that, but that's what we're planning for. We do have various other changes. I think, if anything, we've strengthened our seam attack. As you will see from looking at our squad, Obed McCoy has developed brilliantly over the last year. He's got good experience back up in Kesrick Williams. And we also, even though we've lost Scott Kugelane, who was brilliant for us last year, a great team member, we've got Wahab Riaz in, and then the two excellent West Indians, Kemo Paul and Alzari Joseph. So that gives us a really strong seam attack, backed up by Usman Kadir from Pakistan and Roston Chase and Rakeem Cornwall. And then a few younger spinners that we can introduce to the 11. So those are major changes that we've got in our side. We've got unfortunately, Wade could not get here because of various other commitments, but we've got a great stand-in, a young guy called Tim David, who is bursting onto the franchise cricket scene. I'm really excited to see him play. Big, strong Aussie that's been playing some cricket in Singapore recently. I saw him in the PSL a few months ago, and he looks really exciting. He's coming off some really good form in England for Surrey, and just nipped in for the final to win it with Southern Brave a couple of nights ago. So those are some of the changes that you're referring to, Rai. I think they're very exciting changes for St. Lucia Kings. And that brings us to that change that you also mentioned, the St. Lucia Kings name and title and brand has changed from St. Lucia Zouks. We really value, obviously, the support of the owners. I know them from the Punjab Kings. And they are a tremendous support to us. And a couple of them are flying in to watch certainly part of this tournament. And it'll be great for our staff and players to meet them and get to know the owners. I think that's an important part of us all working in one direction. So it's an exciting brand. For the St. Lucia followers, the brand of cricket that we want to play will be very similar to last year. I thought we played some really exciting cricket. The sort of attacking brand of cricket that we played, emphasized possibly by a guy like Rakeem Cornwall, who's a little bit different, but very effective. I'm hoping for some really great things from him this tournament, and then we've got the heartbeat of the side in Andre Fletcher, who is a brilliant man to have around. He's been playing quite a lot of international cricket recently, and I would like to see him put in some real match-turning performances for us, and that is what our supporters back in St. Lucia can expect.
Well, that's our package for this evening. I am Curtis Morton, reminding you that you can watch sports if you're not fit. But to play sports requires fitness, diligence, and sacrifice. Have a good night.